Hi, Jules here for Talk to Me Tuesday on Tuesday, June 4th. I can't believe it's June already, but it is, so let's get going. Project Linus is this weekend, and I will be turning in the chicken quilt this weekend. I don't think I've mentioned it in my videos, but when I was in the process of labeling it, I'd already bound it, buried threads, and I was getting ready to, while I was burying the threads, I found a hole in the quilt top of the chicken quilt. And I think the only person I mentioned it to was Jennifer. But what I did was I dug through my veggie fabrics and I found some pumpkins that were very similar to the ones that was on one of the farm scene squares. And I made a applique, fusible applique, and fused that sucker down. So I have not washed that quilt yet, and that was about a month ago that I did that. So I need to figure out if I'm just gonna like straight stitch just inside the edge of that, or if I'm gonna put it on the Kenmore and zigzag. If I'm gonna zigzag it, I need to clear everything off of my new table. I got a table from Joanne. It's the Arrow Gidget table. I actually bought it with the FOF in mind, thinking that maybe I could just squeeze it in there, but honestly, with the plug and everything, the Kenmore is about as long as it can go. So there's no way the FOF was going to fit. The Kenmore just barely squeaks in there, and to eliminate the need for a insert, I have I had some little bits of silicone left over, and I'm going to I have taped them down just with blue masking tape to the top, basically covering up all of the areas behind the machine so that no fabric and things fall down in there. I'll insert a picture of that here. So as you can see, that table is covered with a lot of crap right now. My husband is going to, I have bought some little shelf supports that go in the wall brackets that support my wall shelving system. I bought some little short ones, and he's making me some shelves to custom making them to just the size I want at work. So I'm waiting for those, and as soon as I have those, then all of that crap that's on the table, except for the cone holder and probably the little pin cushion, will be lifted off. Oh, and probably my little like thread bin, you know, garbage. There's room for that. But once all that crap is off, there'll be room. I've got there's room for my cutting mat right there. There'll be room for paper piecing and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. If I turn this around, I can show you that I made an extension table. It is too tall. I'm going to have to cut it down, but I made an extension table out of some styrofoam that was in the box for the table that I have the Kenmore in, some of the packing styrofoam, and some duct tape, and yeah, so I just made like something like this to slide on this end, so because I really don't need anything to go in front, so that I can have the machine as close to the front of the table as possible. So let me turn you around so you can see that. So there is that. That's my quilting area right now. There's no quilt on the machine at this very second because I am needing to change the bobbin. I emptied the bobbin out last night. So yeah, that's what's going on here. I am actually getting close to finishing the quilt that's there, so I'm going to try to finish it this week so that I can turn in 2 this weekend. Meanwhile, my friend Deanne did send me her mom's stuff for the memorial quilt. This is the scarf, and you can see it's actually got a run in it, so I will use some of this. And actually, that may just be something in the fabric. I don't know. It's a weird fabric. It's definitely a blend, like a combination of natural poly blend. I don't think it's 100% synthetic. I don't think it's wool. It almost does feel, I don't know, it might be all synthetic. I'm not really sure. I don't really know that much about that. I'm not a scarf person. but the tag had been removed, so there's no way to really know. But it's got a lot of fabric, so that's useful. And so there's that. There's a pair of pajama pants that are t-shirt fabric that just have dogs and paw prints on them. And then there's a pair of fleece pajama pants. So it's an interesting assortment of fabrics, but I think I'm up to the challenge and I'm going to figure it out. I have ordered some French fuse to stabilize all the fabric before I start cutting it. And that's the plan. Stabilize it and then throw it on the Aki quilt and do what I can. I might start with 8.5-inch squares. Oh, and I forgot. She also sent me this. This is her mom was a total costume jewelry junkie. And so, no idea what I'm going to do with this. But there's a necklace, a couple of necklaces, purple and green. There's a beautiful brooch. And some charms and things. So they're Irish descent, and there's little charms that say Irish and things like that. My thinking was maybe turning it into an art quilt and figuring out a way to sew them on there, or possibly like someone suggested, I can't remember who it was, Aileen, I think. Making a bag for the quilt when I'm done. So that might be incorporated into the bag as trimming. That's what I got going on. I look forward to watching your videos. I think I'm caught up on everybody's videos, but I'll have to go in and check. And I'll see you next week. Bye!